Writing to learn activities are short, impromptu, or otherwise informal, low-stakes writing tasks to help students think through concepts, key ideas that are presented in a course. Often, these writing tasks are limited to 5 minutes or less of class time, or are assigned as brief, out-of-class assignments. The $1.50 Summary Active Learning Experience is a writing to learn activity that can be used across all content areas. It is effective and an efficient way for students to process and self-assess their learning, and for teachers to formatively assess the depth of knowledge that students have on a given topic. The $1.50 Summary asks students to compose a single statement that captures the most essential concepts learned. It is an easy-to-implement strategy that requires students to filter out trivial details and make decisions about what is important. By asking for a $1.50 statement, the student is provided with constraints to how long the summary can be, which is helpful when students tend to over-summarize what they have just read, heard, or saw. To begin, the teacher will decide when in the lesson he or she wants students to process. This can be at any point during a lesson, depending on when the teacher needs students to be able to create a summary of their learning. The teacher will ask the students to give me a $1.50 summary of fill in the blank, a concept or a skill that they are currently working on. With each word costing 10 cents, students are given a range of how much they are allowed to spend on the summary statement. For instance, you may ask students to spend at least 90 cents, but not more than $1.50, which means the students' summary statements will be between 9 and 15 words. Let's say that the students have just completed reading an informational text about blue zones in different parts of the world. A sample $1.50 summary statement could be, people living in blue zones live longer because of their better diets, exercise, and sleep. During the process, it is important to remain flexible and allow students to borrow a dime if they need an extra word, if the teacher deems that word to be valid. In our sample summary statement, students may want to include words like plant-based when referring to the diets, or healthy habits when discussing sleep. It is up to the teacher to allow or not allow these words in their summary statements. However, if students are requesting these types of words to be included, they are getting the point, which is they are filtering through and narrowing their focus to what is the most essential concept. It is important to model this process first with your entire class. It is also important to write your own summary statement first to make sure students will be able to complete the challenge in the amount set. With primary students, teachers could work as the scribe, and teachers could also allow the class to write it together in groups or in pairs, therefore scaffolding the summary strategy to add it to, for instance, the end of something like Cornell Notes. This strategy can be differentiated by providing free words as a scaffold for students. The free words are words that the teacher wants them to include in their summary, intentionally modeling what words should be in a summary on this given topic. As an extension, the teacher can also model for students the academic vocabulary that exists in summary writing by providing on-sale words that may only cost 5 cents. For example, transition words such as therefore, thus, however, additionally, that could be used at half the price of other words. In contrast, the teacher can also mark up words that he or she is trying to get the students away from using in their writing, such as it, stuff, said, thing, etc., by making those words 15 or 20 cents each. Students can turn their $1.50 summaries into the teacher as exit tickets, or they can create them at the beginning of class about the previous learning from a unit. They can also be written on sticky notes, paper, index cards, or using Web 2.0 tech tools like Padlet or Jamboard. This strategy allows them to experiment and explore a topic in writing without the fear of failure. This is why low-stakes writing assignments, like the $1.50 summary, are critical for student learning. The construction process during this strategy of what to include and not include helps students to digest and make meaning of the subject content in a different way.